Hi, my name is Scott Taylor. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology at the University of Colorado in Boulder. I grew up in a rural part of Ontario, Canada. The area that I grew up is different than it was when I was a child, and that's not that long ago. And I think that those rapid changes are really hard to witness in some ways because you see changes in how long a winter is or how much snow you get, and that can really impact, environments more broadly. A lot of organisms will not be able to change their lives as much as we can in terms of responding to these changes. Climate change is changing the environment that I'm used to or that I grew up in, and so it's pretty personal. The thing that really interests me about climate change in the context of evolution is how climate change can change the way that species interact. In a changing climate where habitats are shifting, different species come into contact that may not have previously. This aspect of a changing climate or changing environments can really alter the directionality of evolution or the trajectory that certain species are on and either bring them back into contact, which has interesting implications, or drive them further apart. I've traveled a lot for research. The impacts of climate change have been obvious in all of the places that I visited. I didn't have previous experience in Antarctica or the Arctic, but the speed with which changes are happening in those habitats is really obvious even to someone who's only just visiting for the first time. You see active calving events of glaciers, you see areas that were clearly recently under many, many feet of ice, and the speed at which the change is happening, I think, especially in the Arctic, is really obvious. So also traveling in South America and coastal deserts, where I was working on seabirds off the shoreline of those coastal deserts. The food resources that these seabirds rely on are really influenced by El Nino events, which are becoming more common and more severe. And so seeing population crashes or hearing about population crashes in these birds really made it obvious that climate change is having an impact both, in the really dry deserts of the tropical areas of the world, as well as these high desert Arctic areas and also Antarctica. The idea of climate change and the idea that the world is changing really rapidly is hard to comprehend. I think it makes a lot of people feel like they can't do much to change what's happening. A combination of little personal day-to-day things with talking to people about it and helping people understand that this is a reality that we're going to have to deal with and that we are already dealing with is, I think, important.